Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman, coming to you from our broadcast studios at the Lansing Regional International Airport. We are so happy to have our next guest on. Meegan Winters is the co-founder of AbleVu Accessibility and Able Eyes, headquartered in Mason, Michigan. And Meegan, it's great to have you on here. Welcome to the show, and tell us a little bit about your company and what you do.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I can talk about, as you mentioned, there's kind of two companies, and they, started from my passion. I was a special education teacher. I worked in the education system for many years, and one of my best friends was a wheelchair user. And so living with her in college really inspired me to make a difference in the world of accessibility. She has unfortunately since passed, and so much of what I do is in honor of her and her time here on Earth. So what both of the companies, the original company, Able Eyes, is a virtual tour photography company that provides virtual tours for the purpose of accessibility first, from my perspective. But I also understand that businesses have a different perspective sometimes, that it's a great marketing tool, it's a great recruitment tool, it's a great before and after tool. Like, there's a lot of different uses for it, and we accommodate all of those uses. But my passion for it is really using it for accessibility. So, somebody with a physical or invisible disability can see and explore and get acclimated with the space before visiting.
So, Meegan, let me stop you right there, just because I think that needs a little further explanation. So, people who are going to a venue can go on Able Eyes and check the venue out to see maybe how handicap accessible they are.
Yeah, and now probably more so those virtual tours are housed on AbleVu, and I'll kind of explain how that shift happened. So originally Able Eyes was a search platform where you could search for virtual tours anywhere in the US, and we had over 1,000 companies on our platform. When we made the shift and we pivoted and added AbleVu, the reason for that was we wanted to provide a tool that was economical for any business, because virtual tours aren't always economical for every business. And so not every coffee shop and not every ice cream shop can afford that type of technology. And so we wanted to provide something that would be affordable to any business. And so that's how Able Eyes came to be, or I'm sorry, AbleVu came to be. And AbleVu is like the Yelp of accessibility information, is how I like to explain it. So without the bad reviews. So Yelp gets a bad rap because people get bad reviews and they don't like it, but there's no bad reviews on AbleVu. So on an AbleVu profile, businesses can share all of their accessibility and their accommodations based on what they feel comfortable sharing. So we're not judging or rating or critiquing them. It could be if they have virtual tours, that would be on their profile. If they have pictures, text information, we have a list of accessibility features that businesses just turn on and turn off. There's a place for people to ask questions privately to the business. So this is intended to be just the hub of all things accessibility, where people can find information. And so based on all of these different modalities of information, can decide, this is a place I'd be really comfortable going, and I'd like to visit that place. I can go ahead. I can tell you have something to follow up on.
So listen, Meegan, you recently were a presenter at the Choose Lansing's first ever accessibility summit. So
Yes.
what should folks know about what you presented there? Because I was fortunate to be in the audience, which led to this interview, obviously. And it occurred to me that this is not only the right thing to do, the good thing to do, but there's also opening of a new market for businesses who have a more accessible facility.
Yes, absolutely. I can tell you firsthand from my experience living with Jessica that her having a disability, we did not visit a lot of different places. We would revisit the same places that we were comfortable, we knew worked. And so when businesses don't have their accessibility information publicly available, then they might be missing out on a huge market of visitors, and not just those visitors, but those visitors and their caregiver, those visitors and their loved ones. It really is a way of attracting a very, very diverse group of individuals. And there's some really significant statistics as far as, the travel industry for those with disabilities is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that the baby boomers are Now getting to an age where mobility is declining and accessibility is becoming a need. And so it's just really important to share information because it really, really is a great business decision from an economic standpoint and as well from just being a good person.
Yeah. So, Meegan, obviously going back as far as ADA, you would see commercial facilities, you would see municipal facilities all updating to meet those requirements. But how is business? Because sometimes there is that threshold that makes it not so achievable. Is business ending up? Are they getting on board?
Yeah, yeah. We've had a lot of support, and I like to talk about accessibility from not the ADA perspective. I think that ADA is great, and any developer has those check boxes, and businesses know what they have to do. I like to talk about more practical solutions, just something as simple as where's the garbage can in your bathroom? Because sometimes if you open the door and the garbage can is right there, somebody that's using a mobility device can't turn to go into the restroom. So just really, really simple accommodations I think are super important. And then sharing those accommodations publicly will attract more visitors.
Well, Meegan Winters, co-founder of AbleVu Accessibility and Able Eyes. Thanks for joining us and making this world a little more accessible. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman.